Aaron Rodgers, a lot of talk about him missing the Jets' mandatory minicamp a couple of weeks ago. Graz, would it be an overreaction to say this was a bad sign?
No, it's not an overreaction. 31 starting quarterbacks made their mandatory minicamp. We don't know.
Mark doesn't buy it.
It's another Aaron Rodgers thing. So far in his time with the Jets, he has not made a contribution to winning, which is a phrase I borrowed from him. And he has been a distraction. Like he's been all about everything else. If he plays great and they win, then we'll forget all about it. If he doesn't, then it'll be very easy to point to this and say it was just another thing on the pile of non-football crap that has followed Aaron Rodgers around since he got to the Jets.
What do you think of this part?
You think I'm wrong.
So a camp in June has something to do with winning and losing in a regular season. He's been there every single day because of that.
Except the ones that were required.
Required or
mandatory.
Not, mandatory or
yes.
not. He's been there doing team building. He's been there. He's done everything that you can ask him to do. Even his attempts last year to come back from an injury. You talk about his profound connection. I mean, he was taking guys out on mandates, getting guys access to plays, front seats at the Garden.
Great.
He's done everything he can do as a leader, I believe, that he can. I get worried about his distractions when he's away from the field.
Which he was when they were at mandatory minicamp.
But we didn't put no mic in his face.
No.
Right? So it was we didn't ask his opinions for anything.
Maybe somebody
He's going to go away. He had a scheduling conflict. Whatever he had planned, we've seen this before with other people.
The CBA mandates that the mandatory minicamp are either in the first or second week of June. You know exactly when the mandatory minicamp is going to be. There's no scheduling conflict.
He had built-in PTO, Graza. He had PTO, and he decided to put to cash in those.
Can't tell me the guy's all in if he's not there when it's mandatory.
Here's the complicated part of this. For two people to be this far apart on a topic and both be right is almost impossible, but I actually think you're both right.
Look at that.
I don't like that it worked out this way because they attached mandatory to those days.
Right.
But it does make me feel much better that he has been at everything else. If he hadn't been at everything else and then didn't come to mandatory, it would feel market.
Okay, so I want to talk about this mainly because the big thing that Graziano said is Rodgers has not made a contribution to winning with the Jets. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that. And you're probably wondering, well, what has he done? And it's like, he's brought clarity to the New York Jets at the quarterback position for the offense for the first time in years and years and years and years. All this other stuff is just media nonsense, okay? Because inside the locker room, inside the Jets organization, they know exactly what their plan is with Aaron. They know exactly what Aaron wants. Aaron wants to play. Aaron is not magically going to disappear. Yes, he has the risk of being injured. So does every quarterback, okay? Aaron Rodgers doesn't have this inflated risk of injury. We already know that people come back from these Achilles tendon injuries. This is no longer 1998. It's a different world out there right now with all the medical treatment. So there's no reason to doubt that Aaron Rodgers will come back and be fully healthy. So for the first time in years, the Jets have clarity and have one of the best quarterbacks of all time at that position. That's contributing to them winning with the Jets. Not to mention, players love Aaron Rodgers. It seems like only the media does not like Aaron, but players universally praise him. Every single past or present teammate just stands by Aaron and defends Aaron until they're blue in the face. What does that tell you? That tells you that Aaron's obviously a good leader, that players obviously want to play with Aaron, that he's obviously a great locker room guy, that they actually agree with him more than they disagree with him, whether it be personally, politically, whatever it may be. That's what that says. That they respect Aaron because they also feel that Aaron respects them. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. How do the players feel about Aaron? Everything else, it's up to everyone else to figure out. If the owner has a problem, the GM has a problem, the coach has a problem, that's really more on them then. Because Aaron's not really doing anything exceptionally different than a lot of these other players. I understand he missed that, the mandatory minicamp, which I've already talked at length. It is not as big of a deal as other people are making it out to be. And if you watch that video. It's really great. I go into a whole deep dive as to where he was and how it was really more of like a religious, spiritual type thing, that I'm confident that if it was, Christianity or any other traditional religion, it would absolutely have been excused and the media would totally be okay with it. But the fact that it's a little bit different than what the norm is, they're just acting like it's the biggest deal they've ever seen because they don't fundamentally understand what he's doing. And I come from direct personal experience, so I understand deeply what he's doing, and I can say wholeheartedly that, you know what, he's taking care of himself and his mind, which also contributes to him winning with the Jets. As long as Aaron stays healthy, as long as he can stay healthy, Aaron Rodgers will undeniably be great with the New York Jets. There's just no doubt in my mind. For us to suddenly just completely doubt Aaron and just think that he's not a good quarterback or that he's not going to be able to handle it, he's not going to be able to figure it out, it's just insane how far we come when we evaluate any players based off of what we view of them, whether it be politically, personally, whatever it may be. Clearly, so many fans and the media just do not agree with the things that come out of Aaron's mouth, and because of that, they just want to bring down his legacy, his resume, whatever it may be. They just have revisionist history, and all of a sudden, he's not one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL. It's just insane. I understand he's not everyone's cup of tea. I understand he doesn't lead in a traditional sense. I understand he's not Tom Brady. He's not Patrick Mahomes, from that position. He's a different person mentally. That's okay. Not everyone is the same. You can't expect everyone to be the exact same person. Not everyone was drafted or born in the perfect situation. It's very easy for Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady to be those two because they got drafted by Bill Belichick and the dynasty of the Patriots and Kansas City Chiefs with Andy Reid and Travis Kelce and everyone else under the sun. Those were amazing situations for them to be in, for them to have very quick, immediate success. Aaron Rodgers had McCarthy. Does anyone think that McCarthy is going to the Hall of Fame? I don't think so. So it's just a completely different experience for Aaron. And so Aaron has had a completely different journey throughout his NFL career. Whether you agree with him or disagree with him, it can't be denied that players absolutely love him. And at the end of the day, that's what matters more than anything. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Aaron Rodgers and Graziano saying that Rodgers has not made a contribution to winning with the Jets? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.